So today, thank you. Today is career development. So for most of us that want to do transition into tech or into IT as a DA, as a BA, as a Scrum Master, as a QA, Agile Delivery Manager, or whatever the career, because eventually what I saw in the tempers was even some people thought, oh, this is for Scrum Master. Eventually they got a project manager role or they got a IT manager role in different fields. This is also applicable anyway. So depending on what your transition will lead you to. Yeah, so that is what we're going to do today. Today, we're going to start from the basis anyway, so which is CV creation, right? So as we go along, we're going to do CV review. We're going to do job applications, and we're also going to do interview prep during this particular session anyway. So that is the focus as we go along anyway. So okay. All right. So now we're going to start CV curation. Okay.
This one.
So can we be muted, please? Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So one thing I want quick response. Okay. If you have a CV, can you type 1? If you don't have a CV created, just type 0 just to see where we are. It could be any CV at all. Yeah. I have got a CV created, just 1. I don't have any CV, 0. Okay. All right. So it could be any CV. I know how to do a CV, but I've done one before. All right. But I don't have a CV presently, just put 0. Okay. So, okay, I think I can see some ones, I can see some zeros. That is good. So we got some people that haven't got any CV right now, which is brilliant. Okay. All right, cool. Okay. So, okay, all right, brilliant. So now for those guys that got 1, right? So I want you guys to put another thing, okay? If you have an IT CV that is related to your role, okay? Just type 1. Okay, let me put another number. Okay. Now, okay. So if you have a CV for your role, you've done it before, right? For your role. So you can type 3, right? 3 if you have a CV for your role. But if you don't have a CV for your role, but you got a CV already anyway, but it's not related to your role, just type 2. 2 if you have a CV, but it's not related to your role. But if you have a CV that's related to your role, just type 3. So 3, see, I've got a CV and it's for my role that I'm doing right now. But 2, I've got a CV, but it's not for my role, but I've got a CV anyway. So because we're going to use that anyway. So that's really brilliant. So I've got some people with tools because they've got CV and it's not for their role. That's brilliant. That's fine. So it shows that from the statistics right now, we have a lot of people that have got CVs, but you are basically you know how to do CVs anyway. But what I'm going to look into right now will be related to you, whether you got a CV or you haven't got a CV. I'll start from basic actually, as even to the list of your names, actually, how your name should appear on your CV, how you should do this. So it's very, very important for you to know. So, and one thing I would also say, this is a disclaimer, right? So, and don't take everything that I would say as golden, okay? Please try to also do your research. This is very, very important. Even though I can say by the knowledge of what I've done, I've got a lot of experience in that. So, and also, I would also ask you to look at my profile, right, on LinkedIn. Actually, it's very important because I've moved from one different roles to the other. So, of course, for me to be able to move that, it means that, yeah, to God be glory, my CV is working. I've been able to work on that. So, and I've been able to review other people's CV as well because I've been doing this since 2009, thereabouts. Yeah. So I've been kind of mentoring different people. I've seen good CVs, I've seen bad ones. So your own cannot be as better than the one that I saw before, and also it will not be the worst one as well. So just be rest assured anyway. So yeah, so and also means that I've also done a lot of interviews in my life as well as a contractor, moving from one role to the other. And yeah, before they sack me, sometimes I've kind of left the job because it's kind of becoming boring. I've moved on. And yeah, so and also because I just love a new challenge anyway. So that's one thing. So which actually make me to be doing this because I can be able to share my experience, how job market is. Sometimes even if I don't look for a job, I'm not looking to change my role. I still go out and apply for roles and go for interviews. And I said, sorry, I'm not going to take this role because yeah, you just go in there to see what the market is looking. And sometimes I will think I'm not going to take the role, but sometimes it might be enticing. And I say, oh, okay. All right, let's take it. But one thing I can tell you, the best time to take an interview or to apply for a role is when you are not planning to, right? When you are not looking for jobs, okay? That is the best time because you are not under pressure, right? You just go there and enjoy the interview. And trust me, interviews are meant to be enjoyed, okay? Interviews are meant to be two ways, right? But when it becomes one way, right, you tend to be under pressure and defensive, then it becomes an issue, right? So that's one thing. So okay, so after we've done, we're going to do the CV creation today. Hopefully, we'll be able to finish. Normally, it takes like 2 hours to do this. So then after that, I will send a link to you between the before next week. So where you upload your CV, right? So then we'll come back and we'll review the CV. So after we've done the review CV, so we'll also talk about job applications, where to apply, how to apply. Then after that, I would look into interview prep. There's a book I would love you to read. Yeah. I'll send it to the chat later. So it's called Paperboy. I think what the Paperboy knows about business or something like that. I think it's Rainbow. It's called actually. It's a very good book actually. It's a story about a paper boy that actually went out looking for jobs as a paper boy. Paper boy is those boys, maybe teenagers or even teenagers looking to distribute papers. And then when they distribute paper, they collect the money and they remit the money to the newspaper agencies and they collect their share actually. So this guy actually went out looking for that particular role and he did a lot of preparations and he was prepared. And yeah, the book actually, even though it's a storybook, it's a novel, it's actually good for interviews. And I read this several times anyway. And even for I think it's been a while I read the book and it's still ringing my
Rainbow.
Rainbow. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Rainbow.
yeah, it's Rainbow. Yeah, so it's really, really, really interesting book. So if you get a soft copy, yeah, if anyone has got a soft copy, I had it before. I didn't know where I put it anyway. So please do share within your team. It's really, really interesting, and because they know it's easy to read as well. So, but it will teach you some skills about interviews, what you need to prepare for interviews and everything. So it's really, really, really good. Actually, I read this several years ago, and it has really, really helped me during the interview. One thing that I could not even forget is that the Rainbow actually asked for the job. How many of you have gone for interviews and you ask for the job? Most of us don't do that. But since I've read the book, I always ask for the job. I always ask for the job. And it's always very, very interesting that 50% of the time I always kind of get it. Okay. Someone said I should put the title of the book here. Is Rainbow. Yeah. So if anyone can get the Amazon link, you can just press on the link for me, please. Okay.
I'll
All
do
right.
just
So
that.
okay. All right. Thank you. So okay. So let's go to this CV creation quickly. Okay. Okay. I will share my screen in a moment again. So I need to bring the word. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, let me share the screen again. Okay, please let me know if you can see Word document, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes, we can see.
All right, cool. So now we're going to start creating the CV from scratch, okay? This is just a Word document anyway. So I'm going to go back, right? And I'll click on new, right? So go to new, right? So here you can have several CVs template that you want to have. So whether you say resume and put that on the template here, right? Press enter, right? And this will give you several ones actually, right? So we check where you can select the one that you want actually. So and based on what you want, I think you can select the one anyway. So whether you want the columns one or the one that is just kind of So but one thing I want to tell you, right, in the UK specifically, we don't put pictures, okay? We don't put pictures or passport on your CV. So don't do that, okay? I know for maybe for some countries you do that, but in the UK, never ever put your pictures on your CV. Okay, so we don't normally do that, and in the UK. So and as I think in the US as well, you don't need to put CV. So and you don't need to put passport or pictures anyway. So okay, so I'm going to look for the one that hasn't got any pictures or CV. So yeah, so this one, yeah, let's say I think this one is good. So and so yeah, there's another one. So let's see the one. Oh, this is a project management one. Okay, this is a chronological other one. So I'm going to bring one out. So I will start with this and I will use this one as well so that you guys can see what are the differences on the CV. Okay, so let's first look for this one. Okay, so and I would create that. So as you can see, you got this level, right? Okay, so which I think is really, really nice. Okay, so I'm going to bring the other one again, new. So we can, yeah, so let's use this one. Resume, okay. So this is another one that you can, this is another one anyway. So I've got two now. So, but let me use the other one. I think I prefer the other one. Where is that? Yeah, this one. Okay. So I'm going to bring it up the screen. Okay. All right. So this one now, you got your name, your address, city, everything, email, objective, education, yeah, and skills, and then your experience. That is what you need in your CV. Anyway, the rest you need to now fill in. Okay. So that's what you need. So now starting with your name. Okay. So fortunately, I think I would say, okay, all right, let's quickly have a roll call. If you, okay, all right. Okay, thanks Samuel for sending the link actually. So yeah, okay, all right, let's quickly look at the name, okay? If your name has got more than 8 characters, okay, 8 letters, okay, can you type 1, okay? So, and if your name has got, yeah, 4, yeah, 4 to 8, yeah, 4 to 8, can you type 2, okay? Type 1, more than 8. Type 2, if you got only 4 to 8. If you have less than 8, less than 4, then you can type 3. Okay. 1, if you have more than 8. 2, if you have 4 to 8. And then if you have less than 4 or equals 4, you can type 3. So yeah. Okay. All right. So we have some people that's got more than 8 characters in their names. Okay. All right. That is good. Okay. That is brilliant. Okay. So this is very, very important. Okay. Okay. Let's also look at this. Okay. I think my name is easy to be pronounced by Caucasian, right? My name is easy to be pronounced for Caucasian, the long name anyway, type 1. And I think it's not that easy, type 0. My name is easy to be pronounced by Caucasians, people that are not from my tribe, okay? But if it's, yeah, I think it's difficult, type 0, okay? All right. We can see some zeros, some ones. Okay, that is good. Okay, all right, brilliant. Now it's very, very important. I'll tell you, which is good. It's good for us to know, and it's very, very important because one, you don't want your name, right, to be a barrier to you entering the market, right? Your name should open the door, should not close the door for you at all, right? Your name should open the door for you, right? Your name should not close the door, right? And this is very, very important. I can see some names there. If you don't mind, I will just use some of the name. Yeah. Okay. One of the names I will use anyway. So, okay. Let me just first use my name actually, for instance, Deji Emmanuel. Okay. All right. So, but yeah, people don't call me Adedeji. I don't remember, even not my wife actually. So more often it's this. About one of the biggest mistakes that we do as maybe people from Nigeria or from my color is like we create CV and we put our full name. Even our friends don't call us that name. We don't even call that name as well. Do you get it now? And we make it difficult for people to not call us. For instance, right now, I can say boldly, right, that if I put Adedeji Emmanuel in my CV, it might also be good because I've got a very good CV now. But at that point, when I want to enter the market, even though I know that my friends don't even call me Adedeji anyway. So why? I'll just put Deji Emmanuel. That is it, basically. So I know the question that people ask is like, okay, do you have Deji on your passport? No, right? I have Adedeji on my passport. But have they asked for my passport before? Yes. Then what happens? Yeah, this is the short version of my name. My full name is Adedeji. When it comes to after you hired me and you asked me to fill a form, right, for my ID card, I've made that mistake before when I first started a career, right? Even though I put Deji. So when it comes to, okay, I'll fill your name and you've been hired, I put Adedeji there, right? What happened was when they printed my card, it beard Adedeji, right? Then I get to work, people start to say, which one do we call you? They are actually trying to now propose to say, are you Ade or are you Deji? Are you so? Henceforth, that was the last time I kind of filled the form and I put that Adedeji again. So even when I'm hired, I just put Deji as well. So going forward. So please, if you have any questions, so just kind of maybe put in the comment or also you can unmute. Okay. Please, what's the name of the templates I choose? Okay, I'll quickly go through that again. So 1 minute. So if we go to new, so I think I went down. Oh, sorry, I typed resume. So yeah, functional CV is the one that I used. there are two as a resume and also functional CV. So those are the two anyway. Yeah, functional CV. So yeah. Okay, hope that is clear. I can put that. Okay, all right, cool. But there are other ones you can play with them anyway. So okay, so now I've seen people that okay, I think there's one I saw before. Okay, so like this is a name Adegbemi Gasoke Emmanuel, right? But this is so long. Who's going to pronounce this? Do you get? And no matter, I don't think there will someone will call you that name unless maybe your parents, when you you do something that is wrong, they want to kind of stress the name, right? So yeah, Ade will be fine, okay, and maybe Gbemi or something, or yeah, or okay, or something like that. Yeah, just make it easy for people that want to, for the Caucasians to kind of being able to pronounce the name. So if you not like, after you've got the role, you want to put all the names and yeah, so that they can pronounce your name properly, that is fine. But one thing is very, very important is the first name I'm talking about. Your surname is okay. You can't change your surname. Yeah. So yeah. So that is fine. All right. So and yeah, and I think Roy actually make a good point. I know of a friend, is a Caucasian actually. I think his name is I don't know, maybe Barry or something like that. But at work, he said is they should call him Baz. I think, yeah. To be honest, it was why when I was living in outside, my name was not actually Baz. My name was actually Barry, actually. You know, Caucasian, even though Barry is not it's not a long name, right? So they still kind of shorten it anyway, right? You can see even Jonathan, they still shorten it, and Jim, James, do you get it now? So, and the same thing happened, yeah, even Robert is not a long name, but they still shorten it as Rob anyway. So, and to be honest, if they ask you, yeah, this is my name, but this is short version, or I just make it easy for you, and that's it. So, and I think it is okay. So, okay, let's just leave it like that. And as if anyone has got, so yeah, I think to be honest, yeah. So, okay, let's go. One thing I also want to say, some of us has got. I will also give an instance of my wife actually. So, Olushayo Patricia. Okay. So, okay, sorry. So when she first started to apply, she started to use from Nigeria Olushayo because yeah, the name is really, really important and everything. So yeah. So and it was not actually going well. So people kind of find it difficult. And I'll also share a story about a friend as well that started to work anyway. So yeah. So and eventually she kind of changed it. Okay, let's call it this one. So, and then when they pronounce the name, right? So, and they said, okay, can I speak to Seo instead of Shayo, right? So that's another thing you need to know actually, so that they don't murder your name as well. So, and I said, can I speak to Seo? Seo, it was like, who is Seo? I'm not Seo. But fortunately for her also, she's got a baptismal name, right? Patricia, right? So it was like, okay, it's actually my name, so I can just go with Patricia. Even in our name, in our house, actually, they also call her Patricia. So at this point, also now maybe it's also even just part anyway. So do you get it now? So you just have to know that as simple as that is very, very important, because on your CV, your name is the first thing they say, and it's your name that the recruiter will call. So it's very, very important. If you have a long name, please shorten it, make it simple for people, okay? And some people are so bold about their names, they don't want to remove, they also shorten it and everything. This is not the time to be proud about it, to be honest. I'm proud about my name. My Adedeji means double crown. It means I'm from a royal family. So I'm from, yeah, like Prince Harry and Charles anyway. So yeah, so it means that I'm from a royal blood, but that doesn't mean that, yeah, I cannot still bear the name that my friends call me, Deji. So anyway, so that's that anyway. So, okay. All right, now let's go to the address, right? So, okay, let's go to the address. So in time of the address, I know some people, let's say I live in number 2 Archford Road, London, let's say it's Abbey Wood. London. I can remove. Okay. Then postcode. Let's say Abbey Wood will be SC, let's say 2 or 3, yeah, something like that. Anyway, apology if this is someone's postcode. This is just made up anyway. So, okay. So let's say this is my address. I live in 2 Ashford Road, Abbey Wood, London, SC2, 3FT UK, and my telephone number 079. Okay. All right. So let's say that's my telephone number and my email address. So the G dot Emmanuel at Outlook. Or at Gmail, whatever that is, whatever, or what. So one thing that I want to talk about in this one now is the first thing is this one, okay? I know some people will say, oh, this will give my address away. But to be honest, sometimes I don't even mind. So this one will give you a job of a lot of money anyway. So, but if you are kind of very security cautious, you don't want your name or your full address to be in there. But of course, you can just say Ashford Road, basically, because they know that, or that's fine. Because one way or the other, what this would do is like they are looking for where you live, right? So because some role, even though they say it's a remote role, they want to look for someone living in the UK. So one thing that you need to look into is like in the UK, when where they said if you want to be like someone, you have to think like the person, right? So that's one. So you need to think like how the recruiter will be thinking. So when you put your address there, it shows that you have a recognized address in the UK. It means you live in the UK. So if you only put London, that means anybody can put London, right? So even people in Nigeria or anyone in London, that means you don't have a recognized address in the UK. So that's very important. But I know some people might argue to say that, oh, what if I'm applying for a role in Scotland or something like that? Will they sometimes, of course, yes, they look at local people first before you kind of look into other people, other places anyway. But I would say having your address will do you more good than to be honest. So because it shows that you have residential address. So but if you are still not comfortable, even I'm not going to recommend this anyway. So you can put Abbey Wood and your postcode anyway. So but if you leave this, you're not the only person living in Ashford Road, right? There are a lot of houses there, unless you is only number 1 or in your street anyway. So I would say that, yeah, you should leave that like that. But if you are still not comfortable, right, I would say, yeah, you can just say Abbey Wood, London, SE, blah, blah, and your telephone number anyway. So, and yeah. So also, email address, right? Please, I also saw an email address that one of my mentee sent to me. The email address was, let's say, Emmanuel Ade Ola, yeah, something like that. Anyway, Deji Adola Emmanuel, something like that. And I thought, even your CV does not even bear that. Why do you have a name that is like 3 or 4 names together? So if you are in that situation, you have a very long email address, and it might, because the recruiter might have to type it out, and even to type DG, some of them might even get you wrong. So why do you have to now put other names in there to make it difficult for them to type as well? So just make it name simple. Do you get it now? So, and perhaps just put your name and your email and your name and last name, something like that. So, just to make it easy to, as long as you can be able to see that. Some of us, we use Yahoo, Gmail, but Outlook, you can see some emails on Outlook anyway. If you want to look at Outlook, if the email addresses that you are looking for is not there again in Gmail or Yahoo, look at Outlook if you can get a new email. Okay, all right, now, so this is the standard one. There are other things that I would want you to add as well. So based on my experience, so I'll bring one sample out quickly that I've done. Yeah. So, okay. So now, so you have already put email address here. Then you got LinkedIn, right? Okay. Oh, this is even good. I also use the same. Okay, so your LinkedIn profile, if you do have one, right? So if you do, but I could recommend that you should get a LinkedIn profile. Okay, so then nationality. If you are British, one thing, if you are British, put your nationality British. For some of us that got like Nigerian name, brilliant name like myself, when Caucasian look at that, they will think, yeah, maybe this guy is legal. He doesn't have any authorization to work in the UK. It will be good for you to put in there so that even the fact that I put on my CV, they still ask you, do you have authorization in the UK? What type of visa do you have? Do you get it now? So, and if you don't, right, let's say you are not British, but you have dependency visa that does not require you to have authorization. So you can decide to remove this, okay, and leave this one, authorization to work in the UK. Do not require work authorization or permit. It's very, very important, because so that they know that you do not require a work permit, okay? So because sometimes this is very, very important. Then they might ask you which type of visa you have or something. Some of them would not even ask again. So if you have, yeah. So, okay, that is gone. So now profile, okay. I just put a kind of snapshot of my own profile. So now quickly, I'll do something, go to LinkedIn quickly and grab some profile. Okay, all right, 1 minute. If you have any questions, please do send it across. I would look into that. So, okay.
Hi, Deji. Can I just quickly ask the question while you're into that? Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
All right. So, since I'm transitioning from a career that I am in now to this, and my LinkedIn has that profile already, do you think that I need to delete that LinkedIn profile and create another one that would be in sync with this new career?
Yes, unless you know that, yeah, unless you're applying for 2 jobs. I know some people apply for 2 jobs. So if you are doing that, you need to have distinct profiles, right? That cannot be linked to each other, right? So, but if you are going to, no matter what you do, you need a LinkedIn profile that tallies with your CV. Do you get it now? It's very, very important. Yeah. So if you could have that, yeah, okay. Another question: why do we have to put that after telling that I have rights? Okay, Sorry, Adura, I don't understand the question. So if you're talking about,
hello?
yes.
Could you go back to the CV that you had? Yeah, you said authorization to work in the UK, and that's full
Yeah.
stop. You highlighted it, yeah, and do not require work authorization or permit. I don't understand that particular place.
Oh, okay. So this is just authorization to work in the UK. What authorization do you have? Do you need to work in the UK? Do you get it now?
Okay.
And this is not saying I do not require any authorization. Do you get it now?
Right.
So yeah, basically that is if you are not British. If you are British, you don't need this one. Do you get? So yeah. Okay. So 1 minute. I think. What have I done? Okay. Okay, so age is not necessary to be honest. Never put your age on the CV. Actually, in the UK, age is not necessary. So, an international student currently, when I finish my study, I'm looking for a sponsorship. Or yeah, how do I? Yeah, okay, good. So if you are a student, right, and you need sponsorship, right, I will just be silent about that. Okay, completely silent without putting anything. Okay, I will, because you need a visa, you need the authorization, right? You need, yeah. So I will just be silent without putting anything. So let them ask you that what role, what authorization do you have to work in the UK, and you cannot tell them that, oh, I need a work visa or I need sponsorship. Do you get it now? And I won't put it on my CV that I require sponsorship. Do you get it now? Because if you do that, right, some people just say, no. Do you get it now? So it will be good for you to skate through the interview, right, and let that limit you, actually, if that's fine. Okay. I've got some people raising their hands. Okay. Jamie, please.
Yeah, thank you, Deji. Thank you very much. So
Yeah.
I'm just following up from one of the questions that was asked. I think maybe it was Kemi or somebody that asked it. Looking at the LinkedIn profile, because I always get confused about this. You might be applying for a role or a position in a company, but the role that you have presently, you've done the job description that is stated in that role that you're applying for. And does it mean now that you go back to your LinkedIn, because of course your LinkedIn profile will have that job title, which is different from the role you're applying for? Does it mean that it has to be in sync in terms of job titles when you're applying for a role? I mean, because when you're putting in your CV, because you fine-tuned it to that application, you most likely will put, let's say, a business analyst. You put business analyst. Maybe in your role in your present company, what they call it is change management.
Okay.
So, now, if the recruiter is going to go to your LinkedIn profile, he sees change management. Meanwhile, on your CV, you put business analyst. Is that a disadvantage, or it doesn't really matter?
Yeah.
Just on that you've had that responsibility. So I always get confused about this, because I'm wondering now for myself, just like the lady who spoke, I'm transiting. I've done core business development, project management, some business analysis, if you call it that, and I'm transiting to main business analysis. So do I totally remove that from my LinkedIn profile? That is what is presently there, and just state it more on business analysis, or what? I really don't know how to do this, please.
I would be consistent. Do you get it now? So your CV and your LinkedIn profile needs to tally together, right? And you need to be consistent. So one thing is, I've shared my own story, right? There was a particular role I applied for, right? So which I nearly did not want to go, right? Because of the job title, right? And the recruiter told me and said, Deji, if it's the job title, don't worry, right? What exactly do you want to be on the job title? Because I think that role was so little for me. Do you get it now? The job was okay, the salary, the rate was fine, everything was fine. Even the responsibility was great actually, because it was, even when I got there, I even did more than what is necessary. Do you get it now? But the problem is the role, is the title. Because I don't want to misrepresent myself having done senior role and you now say, okay, I'm doing a management role, but my role is now this. Do you get it now? So that was the issue. But the guy told me that you don't worry. So titles are just titles, okay? Just put in there. As long as you know you can get a reference, or you can get reference from here, it's fine anyway. So that's what I can say. So, but you need to make sure that they are consistent, okay? One thing that you could do is that you can also put slash in there. Do you get it now? Change management / BA. Do you get it now? Just so, yeah, so that it aligns anyway. Yeah. Okay. Hope that is
Thank you
clear.
very much.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
okay.
clear. Thank you very much.
All right. Samuel, please.
Yeah,
Samuel?
good evening, sir.
All
Good
right.
evening, sir. I want to thank you for the lectures. Yeah, I mean, you are a breakthrough to me. You've really changed my life. You changed my mindset. And
Samuel,
now
let's go to
think
the
straight.
point.
Yeah. So my
Thank
point
you.
is, I love what you're doing. I've been working since yesterday night till right now, and I'm dozing off while you're teaching. I was thinking, I'm a lazy thinker and I'm a lazy worker as well. I like creating shortcuts, and it has really helped me a lot as well. So if you could pop this document you're doing at the end of the class as a link to our class page, I'll be very grateful to copy, and as I'm watching the video again, I'll be just editing and it will be sweet. Thank you. That's my suggestion, sir.
No, unfortunately, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm starting from beginning, right? When I started this one, I didn't have anything. So this is what I have, and that's what I'm still going on, right? I just brought that one in. So basically, as you can see, that's what I've done. So the next bit I'm about to do is, okay, you need to put your, what's that? LinkedIn.
All right.
So, which I'm going to, because I've got that one, that's why I just brought that in anyway, so that I can copy and paste. I don't have to redo it again. So basically all this, I just need to kind of copy that. I think it's only LinkedIn I need anyway. So yeah. So basically.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So that I'm going to go, we might not be able to finish this today, but yeah, it's going to go slowly like that, hopefully, yeah. So as you can see, that is that. So, and one thing I can do is to bring this together without line spacing, right? So click on that and remove space. Yeah, as you can see, I don't want to remove space after the paragraph so that they come together. So that's what I can do in there anyway. Okay. Okay. So now that is that. So I've got everything I need. Okay. And I also told you, I said you should also put authorization to work in the UK. No, it should be underlined. So someone asks if I'm on dependent visa or something. So if you are on dependent visa, then you don't need any authorization as well anyway. So yeah. So that also it's okay. So what's happening here? Okay, this is it. And let's change it to UK. Okay. All right, cool. So, okay. All right. So and now objectives. Okay, this is where I come to the LinkedIn now. Okay. So in LinkedIn, so you need to search for different people. So yeah, let's say I am a BA business analyst. Okay, this is a business analyst guy. Okay, let's say it's a senior business analyst. Let's go and look at his profile. Okay, and about okay, this one hasn't got what I'm looking for anyway. But you might have to do some. Okay, all right. So one thing, what I was looking for basically, let's go back. Some people that have done their profile very well, like myself, you have like about the person. If you go to my profile, you will see about myself, like this is an epistle anyway. So you can see blah, 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 blah. So that if you have your about like that as well, you just copy that and paste it, or you have to create it as well. Do you get it now? So that is important for you to do so. Okay, so that is one. Yeah, so which I'm going to copy and I'll paste it in that document I'm creating. Okay, so where is that? Okay, so that will come in my objective. Once if you are copying and pasting, ensure that you only paste text only. Okay, keep text only so that you don't change the formatting. Okay, that is very, very important. When you are copying and pasting today, you don't change the format. Okay, just keep text only. Okay, and that will not change the font at all. Okay, as you can see. So, and I'll put that like that. Okay. So, okay, for those guys in Nigeria, okay, you don't require work permit anyway. So, but yeah, so, but if you're applying for the UK, right, if you're applying to work in the UK, yeah, so you just leave that completely as well, okay? So, and that is that. So now let's quickly go to, I'm going to go here, open ChatGPT, okay? So you can also ask ChatGPT to write something for you. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Sorry. Hello, so go ahead, please.
Okay, sir. My question is looking at the CV you are creating now. I just want to ask: is it compulsory that our surname should be on the CV? Because I don't know. I'm a bit confused. You said the other is the dad added your surname or your real name?
Oh, this is my first name.
Or your first name rather.
Yeah. And that's my surname.
Okay, and Emmanuel is your first name.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So, and I think, okay, let's to say Ola. Yeah, let's say something like that, isn't it? Okay, so this another one I just copied from ChatGPT now. Actually, as you can see, 1 minute, let me close that. So the ones it popping up.
Hi, Deji. Quick question, please.
Yes, please.
You're writing these things under objective. I thought it was a profile that's supposed to be in the place of objective.
Oh, okay. That is good question. So it could be profile, it could be objective, it could be personal statements, depending on what you choose, actually. Right. So if I go to the other one, I think, yeah, hold on. Yeah, this one also say objective, actually. So hold on, let's check another one. Sample profile. Yeah. So it's, yeah, you could call it profile, you could call it objective or personal statement. They are all the same anyway. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I just put.
Excuse me.
Yes, please go ahead.
A profile objective or whatever, is that only applicable to UK? Because in Nigeria they like to be inquisitive about things. The right word for something.
No, here it's basically the same, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't put both of them, right? Whether you say personal statement, right?
Okay.
So, and you can leave it like that as well, or your profile or your objective anyway. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's fine. So even if you have two paragraphs like this, is still fine anyway. But if you have one, it's still okay. But as you can see, you can use ChatGPT as I've done, right, to bring it out anyway. So that's it. So you can, as you can see, example of what I write, even if I say, okay, write a personal statement for a 5 years Scrum Master role. Yeah. So as you can see, that is that. So you can just take it and adapt it, blah blah. That's fine. As you can see, it's even got a lot of things. So, and you can make it into 2 or 3 lines. So that's it. So basically, right. So if I copy that, so okay, let me just leave that. Yeah. So, and I can go and I can paste test only. So as you can see, but to be honest, you only need at least not more than 2 paragraphs. Anything more than 2 paragraphs is overkill anyway. So I just put this for the sake of the training anyway. So if you want to look into that. So this one is the Scrum Master one. This one is the DA one that I did. The other one is the BA, right? So you can do the same thing for the DA. So for this one, I would kind of stop maybe 3 paragraphs should be fine. So yeah, I'll leave it like that anyway. But one thing that, as a rule of thumb, this profile page, basically everything there should be 1 page with your education. Okay, so that is what you should have. And also, yeah, even with your skills anyway. So basically, we might have to remove that one later anyway. So yeah, so okay, the next thing that you want to do is your education and degree. Okay, so I would just copy and paste from the one I did now. So which is this.
So what if it's not relevant to the role now that we're applying for, your education?
Okay, all right, that is a good one. So, but the fact that you went to uni, right? Let's say it's a BSc, right? I've seen people that have trained as mentored actually went to they did biochemistry or botany in school, right? And they are testers, technical testers, but they still put it anyway. You get now. It doesn't matter, but of course you've learned through that. You've learned even interaction skills, communication skills in school. To be honest, so yeah, even most of us that did computer, they didn't teach us most of these things that we're doing right now. I don't remember, to be honest, one thing, no school is teaching Scrum Mastering anyway. So you get it now. Maybe they will teach you software development anyway, but it's maybe when I did my MSc, I know that they teach us software testing anyway, and also some part of business requirement gathering and everything. So, but they will not teach you all these things. So so just rest assured that even the IT guys also were not taught this thing in full anyway. So yeah, so it's really important. You can put it anyway. So
do we have to put the date we got it? Some of us is 1900 and
okay, all right. That is a good question. That's a good question. So 1 minute. To be honest, it's really interesting question. So because you have to be smart about this. Yeah. So for this now, so let's say this is what I put right now. Yeah. So MBA, London City Business School. This is myself, and I think this is 7. And that's, yeah. So, but one thing you're not saying is like, okay, let's say it's been a while, right? So let's say this one is 1960, when Nigeria became independent, is when I did this actually. So what do I need to do? So basically you can just kind of, I would say it's just remove everything, but you have to be consistent anyway, you get. So, and so it's not, so it means that you don't need to put any of the dates in anyone actually. But if it's recent, I still want to, this is what I tell people, right? Everything that you put on your CV, you need to ask yourself, would this add to your profile or subtract? Do you get it now? Would this one lead you to the job or would not? It's very, very important to kind of ask, right? So as you are adding it, would this add to my profile? Would you remove from my profile? If I don't put this one, what happens? Do you get it now? So this is very, very important for you to do that. So I just put an extract of my own in there anyway. So, and you can delete the rest like that. Okay. So, okay. So then we don't need this one again. So, okay, sorry. I think even we don't even need this like that. So I can just put it like that. So simple, and that is not required. So now you also need your skills and your abilities also. So a good example is what I've done here. So where is that sample one again? Okay. So, and this is a sample technical skills, and some people might also put like non-technical skill or soft skill or technical skills. You can do the same thing, like so let's say here you put technical skills and you can put soft skills. Or some people, I think, even depending on if you have some sections, okay, some people might say project management skills. Do you get it now? Or like those guys are technical ones. So you might even split the technical one to maybe software development skills. You can also say database skills, or you can say what else, software testing tools or something like that. So, and yes, those things like that anyway. So so you can put that. So one thing, let's go into here now, technical skill for Scrum Master. We're going to ChatGPT, right? Again, and say list 30 technical skills that are required for a Scrum Master. Okay, before I continue, let me not assume that everyone knows what this is. To be honest, this is a ChatGPT, is a free tool anyway. So so I'm gonna put that in the list anyway. So so you can click on that, so and that will give you access to people. You can ask any questions anyway. So let me not assume that everyone knows it anyway. So okay. So and let's click send. and it's going to list them anyway, right? As you can see, agile methodology, Scrum, bam, 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 okay? So DevOps, right? So, and I would also do the same thing, and I say I want tools as well. Okay, so while this one is growing, actually, I'm going to say, okay, now this I can now say, okay, agile methodology and this one, I can put them together. So like so, where is that? Okay, so for technical skills, I can say like this now, agile methodology. Methodology. Hopefully that's correct. Okay, so here I can list all the agile methodology I know, right? Scrum, Kanban. So as ChatGPT already kind of listed some for me anyway, so let me put that in. Scrum, Kanban, Lean, blah, blah. So yeah, DevOps, yeah. So okay, I'm gonna talk about how to put this in columns, okay? Because otherwise you might have lots, yeah, okay? So let me even add some of them as we go along. Okay, so now we are software development, CI/CD, blah, blah, version control, user stories, backlog management. Yeah, I think we might need those ones as well. Backlog estimation techniques and everything. So yeah, so we can split that one into different sections. So yeah, and so okay. So all this one I'm expecting you to know before you leave the internship, to be honest. So, and you just copy it as part of the, yeah. So if you have any questions, you can ask, please. So I think you can use this. So, okay.
Hi.
Hi, yeah.
Hi. The question is regarding like how do we explain any gaps that we have in the CV? Like there might be some gap after we finish our studies and in between we finish our studies and in between we are applying for the job. So how do we explain any gaps that we have? We can't really lie because so how do we explain that?
ChatGPT is the explanation, or Google, right? Does that answer your question? Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, all right. So because of course you won't learn everything, you will not learn everything. But one thing, everything I have listed here, you should be able to learn on this internship, right? Everything, right? If you are not, I think that means you have not done anything, right? So yeah, even with this, okay, where's that? Yeah, even the strong methodology, right? So you will work with Scrum perfectly well. The tutor would tell you about Kanban. I think they will have told you, right? I think, some people might have learned what is Lean. So if you don't know what that is or SP, just Google it, okay? And not a lot of people use them anyway, so they might just ask you, even if it's not your CV, that doesn't mean that they will not ask you, right? So you need to know it, right? So they will ask you, have you used Lean before? Yeah, I have used it, but I've learned about it, I know it, but I don't have professional experience on it. But if you are able to explain it, that's fine. Just explain what that is anyway, and that's all. And yeah, so okay. Any other question? Okay, all right. Now, as you can see,
I have one. Sorry, I have one.
yes, please go ahead.
So like I've seen like interview vacancy, the advertisements where it says where it specifies the in-house, maybe in-house tool that the organization uses, right? So for instance, you done QA and you know the general tools, but then when you go to apply, it will tell you instead of Jira or Azure, it will mention maybe specific unknown tools. Like for instance, I've seen an advert that says Tosca. Tosca is like a test case management tool, but I've never heard it before. Neither have I seen it before until that advert. So how do you? But you know that the work that they've specified there. However, you don't know that tool. So I want to apply for that job. How do you go about?
Okay, all right, that's good. First, Tosca is not a test management tool, right? Tosca is a is a test, what's it called? Development tool, actually, like Selenium, basically. You don't read just it's Selenium basically, but you can do window applications as well as web, as well as mobile and window. Yeah. So basically, but it's quite easy, right? So what you need to do, Google the tool, watch videos, get your hand dirty and use it. Some of these tools has got free versions or trial versions. Do you get it now? Yeah. And one thing, even in the advanced now, we try to bring all these tools, even though we are not using them, but we try to kind of, get our hands on them actually as we go along in the advanced side. But you guys are not ready for that anyway. So we try to kind of go through all these particular tools. I asked them to review another one, which is the AI for software testing. They call it Test Team, actually. I've not used it as well, but I kind of saw it that it was interesting. So I gave the team to go and research on it so that they come back, we'll learn together. But if that's how you will do anyway, go and learn about it, know what it is. But one thing, some of these two, you got transferable skills. Once you can know how to use Selenium, right, the rest is easy because you got the backbone. The rest is okay. What does it do, right? Some of this one that you are talking about is even just record and play. Just record, click around what you want to click around and play it, and that's it. Your job is done. It's even easier than Selenium. actually. But if you don't know what it does, then it becomes an issue, right? Do you get?
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So now I think the same thing applies to what you're talking about now. Yeah, right now. So yeah, for instance, now let's say I'm gonna go to that aspect in a moment as well when we go to requirements anyway. When you go to responsibility, because that is very, very important. That's a good question. So and click up. So and another thing, some of you guys actually can see that I am copying everything, but I'm not pasting it as I go along, but I am actually pasting it in a go. So this is also a good tool in Microsoft, right? So if you do Control C several times, and then if you now do your Window V, right, that will bring every Control C that you've done, right? Everyone that you copied, and you can now start to paste them. Like now, I'm pasting the next one now. So as you can see, I didn't have to copy them one after the other and paste them, right? So this is the next one. So what I'm doing is I'm only pressing Window V, Window and plus V, and is also selecting. So you can try that on your system if that works for you. That should be monday.com. So the same way I think the last speaker, which I didn't know who the person is anyway. So now I am putting all these things, right? But I don't know what they are for, right? What do I need to do? Go and read up on them. Go and use them. They are free licenses that you can use. Do you get them? Once you've been able to use them, that's fine. That's where you just need to go. And yeah, and that is fine. And during the internship year, I will tell you the one that you would use. I think, have I not said Jira? Okay, no. Okay, all right. So during the internship, you would use Azure DevOps. You will use Jira, right? And Jira and Trello are quite similar. So even Jira owns Trello anyway. So once you are able to use Jira, you should be able to use Trello. Trello is quite easy. Version 1 and Visual Studio, Azure DevOps are quite similar as well. So so monday.com, to be honest, I've not seen a company that uses them anyway, but they seem to be also quite popular. ClickUp is new, and every time I see their adverts anyway. So just kind of go out and do it anyway. Okay, all right. So that I've kind of put the skills and abilities now. As you can see, that is becoming long, and I don't really like it. I want everything to be in one page. So I'm going to kind of put this in columns. So sorry about that. Okay. I'm going to put this in columns. So let's say I put this in 2 columns. I'll block that out, and you go to column. Okay, where's that? Okay, I think if I can insert, is it? No. Okay, just search for columns here. Okay, yeah, add column. So I think normally, yeah, add column. How many columns do you want? So I want 2 columns, okay? But normally, I think maybe I'm not seeing it. It's normally been in one of the places. Review, or layout, I think. Yeah, layout. Yeah, is there anyway. So, but if you forget, like I've done right now, just click on this. What do you want to do? It applies to anything in Word anyway. So if you forget where they are, just type it and it would come in handy. So you can see, yeah, add or remove column. So now I have kind of separated this into 2 columns. If you want 3 columns, the same thing you have to do. Just block it and put it in 3 columns. So I can go here and say, I want it in 3 columns, and it would put it in 3 columns. As you can see, and I can put this one also in 3 columns as well. But you have to be consistent actually. So yeah. Okay, all right. As you can see, that is it then. So now it comes to the experience. But one thing I want to say is like everything, your profile page, your front page, your education, your skills, I would prefer them to be on the front page, right? So your experience will start in the second page, right? So now, of course, you know, this was just and this is just basically me adding different things. So let me remove and just make this one into 2 paragraphs. And see, okay. So, but then I see how this out there. So I can play with my margin, increase the margin, or reduce rather, reduce the margin, and also reduce the margin of that one. Let me see if it's still not coming in. So let's see. Okay, so it means that I might need to reduce my oh no, I think that is not even doing anything. Okay, yeah. So I just reduce that. Yeah. So even this one, yeah. Okay. All right. So as you can see now, that is that. So you ensure that they are in one page. So basically what this is saying that on this page, everything that pertaining to yourself, they can read up, right? On this. They know your name and everything, your personal statement, your education, your skill, your tool, basically. And it would be good, use ChatGPT for this purpose, write everything, even if it's testing, BA, you can use that. There are a lot, and you can say, I said 50, 30, you can put different things in there. Like for instance now, like so you can see all these tools, from this is just for Scrum Masters. So if you say, okay, choose by BA, right? So you can look at that and put that require for business analysts. So I just put tools, as you can see, blah, 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 So, okay, that's that. So, and to be honest, there's nothing stopping you from taking each of the list of these two and say, oh, this checked, I know this, I know this, I know this. For instance, in this program, of course, Excel, you will work, Visio, yes, PowerPoint, yes, Word, of course, yes, Google Workspace, I think everyone should know. Lucidchart and Visio is the same. If you are able to use Visio, you should be able to use Lucidchart anyway. They are similar. So, and also it's similar to Balsamiq anyway. So you can, both of them. And there's a online version. Just go and have 1 hour, play with it, blah, that's it. Azure RP, I don't think, I've not used that anyway. So, but it's something that you can look at. Okay, is this something I can use anyway? So Tableau, so if you also so can you be muted, please? Admin, can you help me with that? So thank you. Okay, all right. So you can see those ones. So just look at them and see, okay, which one. Draw.io is also similar to it's also similar to Lucidchart, and so so that's what I can say. So not everything is important, but we're going to see which one are important based on the role that you are going to be applying for anyway. So the same thing for data analyst as well. So you can, so let's say I even do most important tools that require for data analysts. Okay, as you can see. So on this internship, of course, at the data analysis, you are going to know about Microsoft Excel, right? Python, you are not anyway. So yeah, I teach kids Python. If you're interested, maybe when we start out with the kids, you can, yeah. So SQL, of course. No, of course, because you are not doing Python, you will not do Jupyter anyway. So, and yeah, and we are not doing R. So Jupyter notebook is for Python and R. Tableau, yes. Then Power BI, yes. Google Analytics. I think the guys, this is another thing I'll give to the guys in the advanced anyway. So, of course, the Hadoop, yeah, of course not. If you're interested in Git, I think yeah, the automation testers would look into. They would do Git anyway. You can join them. Excel add-on, basically, of course, on data management system, macro. So the other ones, I think you can kind of read them up anyway. So, but as you can see, half of this is already covered during the course of this internship, and you got experience on them. So, okay, all right. So, and that is that in terms of the front page, right? The next ones are going to be repetitive anyway, which is your experience, okay? So now your experience, basically. So your job title, your company, and date from, right? So now let's say we start with Blue Sky. So I am a agile delivery manager, and I work for Blue Sky. Okay, from when did you guys start? I think this is from September. I think, is it September? When did we start the introduction? Let's say August.
September 7th, isn't it?
It's
Okay.
September. Yeah.
Thank you. September to December 2023 to present. Okay, so now you don't put the day, okay, month and year, okay, month and year, okay. So you can use the dash as well, or you use to present anyway. So whatever you decided to go for. So now, so you put your responsibility and everything. So before that now, so I would normally ask people to give a description. What is Blue Sky? Okay. So let's say you work for Google. Explain what Google is. What is that company? So you go to the company website, right? So, okay, let's go Blue Sky. Or if we go to About Us. Okay, let's put that in there. You see, when I pasted this now, it pasted with colors and everything. So I need to change that to the normal text. So, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a text like this one. Okay, and okay, so but I don't need the, yeah, so that's So now that is that, okay? So rest from that is the rest is responsibilities. All right. Okay, what are your responsibilities? Now, how do we get that? Let's go to ChatGPT again, okay? So now I'm going to, let's stick with the ADM. Let me even try if he's able to kind of, oh, okay. He didn't bring it out. I thought he was that smart anyway. Okay, as you can see, it actually brings a lot of things for me. So I'm going to copy that and I'll put that in the CV. Okay. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove those titles because they are not relevant. Okay. I'm going to remove that. Okay, as you can see now, so I'm going to put that in bold so that it's there. So put a space in between that. Okay, that's my responsibility. So now what I can do now is I collaborate with blah, blah. I'll see where I can actually amend, right? So, okay, so okay, so I can say using Azure DevOps. So I will just start to slot the tools that I use in between those things actually, so that the tool is there anyway. So allocate resources, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you are using Jira with Jira. So something like that, so that you can put the velocity tracking. Yeah, of course, another metrics using Azure DevOps. Okay. So those are things you just put your tools, like, yeah, for instance, BA, you put your tools that you use and everything. So that it's included in the requirements. So after that, so let me copy that. So what you now need to add will be where's that? Okay. So let me change that. Your projects. So what is the project that you worked on, right? So now let's say number one project I worked on mentor skill. So even I think maybe it's only one, so I don't need to put that in there. So then what is mentor skill? Okay, mentor skill. I think you just need to look at the project mandate that was given. What is mentor skill? Blah blah blah. You talk about, you put one paragraph about that. Okay, what is mentor skill? So that's blah blah blah. Because of my time, I think I could. Okay, you put what you mentor skill is about. Okay, so let's say that's mentor skill. So then, okay. Do we indicate that it is, okay, that's a good question. Do we indicate that it is internship? No, you don't need to say internship. Just put your title. That should be fine. So you don't need to say it's internship. If you're a BA, just a business analyst or Scrum Master, you don't need to say internship. So, okay, we'll give reference based on that. Okay. All right, cool. So, and okay, so I think the next thing that you need to put now is a choose.
Question, Deji. If you've worked for a company that have had like confidential projects, are you allowed to like put them on the thing, for instance, on your CV like that, or?
What confidential projects? So if the project is going to be available for users out there, right? For instance, let's say I work for MOD, right? And they have a project, they call it defense of Ukraine, right? Do you get it now? So I can actually say MOD project, this project, just paraphrase what that is. There will be something that will not be classified. Do you get it now? That everyone would know. So I work in a project that it lists blah, blah, blah. You just talk about that anyway, yeah. Do you get?
Yes, thank you.
Without having to, yeah. And you can even put there because of not disclosure. Yeah, I'm not able to, but this project is blah blah with MOD, and yeah. So, and then technical snapshot are the tools that you use in those organizations. Let's say example could be, I will quickly go to, let's say the DS now. Anyway, okay, ADM tools. Let's go back to. So let's go copy. Okay, so in here now, I would paste those two is here. So let's say I worked on this. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll leave that anyway. So let's finish this. So the tools now, the technical snapshots for all, it could be tools if you just say, let's say tools.
Tools, is that the same as stack? Because I've seen some CVs say stack.
Yeah, it can be text stack as well. You can also call it text stack. Yeah. So Jenkins. So I'm just going to copy this and replicate it again anyway. So for the sake of time. So what you need to do is this one now, I would put it in, where did I see that again? Search layout, I think, yeah. I'll put this in columns. So I want it to be more than 3 columns, more columns. So I want it to be, oh, what's happening? Okay. Let's say 5. Okay. So, and I can reduce the space. Yeah. So something like that, so that it's not here. But I think it can as well, to be honest, it can as well just put a comma in between all of them anyway. So just list them like that. So that's another thing that you could do, so that this is not, yeah, it doesn't take a lot of space. The purpose of this is when they start to search for the tool that they're expecting. So basically that tool, let's say Azure DevOps now, for instance, it will appear here, right? And you also put Azure DevOps here, right? And Azure DevOps will also be here. So at least you see 3 places that Azure DevOps appears. So even if ATS, the tool that they use, is looking for someone with a strong Azure DevOps, it's not only appearing in one places, it's appearing in the top one, it's appearing in your responsibility, it's also appearing in the tool. That's 4 people. So if you have another job profile you added as well, you do the same thing. At least you have like maybe 4 or 5 places that particular tool appears. So when they do, even if they are not using ATS, they do Control F, all right, and try to see, okay, oh, your CV is it strong in Azure DevOps? Oh, okay, it appears in 4 places. But if you decide not to use this, right, you remove this column and you are not putting Azure DevOps here, so, and you only put at the top, that means Azure DevOps will only appear in one place on your CV, which is not good anyway. Yeah, so it will not make your CV to be shortlisted anyway. So that is that. So now, before we leave now, so quickly, so if you are not using ChatGPT, how can you also do this, right? Another place to use is the job profile that you're applying, right? So let's go to some of the job profile because we're still going to look at them later anyway. So let's go to JobServe. So I'm going to, let's say, okay, look for this. I'm just going to use one anyway. So, okay. So this is a, okay, responsibility. Let's go to another one. Okay, this is good. So now, as you can see, So this is saying blah, blah, blah. That's your responsibility. Yeah. So assist, blah, blah, blah. So you can actually copy some of these responsibility. Okay. So I think this one is good. And I can copy them and I'll put on my CV. And I can say, okay, let's put this one here. So that's one, as you can see, I've already put, then you can rephrase it, work along that and everything. So, and yeah, so that's one way that you can also use actually. So you go into the job profile and yeah, support development capability. That's what they're looking for. Copy that, provide, yeah. So, and to be honest, you would get take responsibility in reporting and documenting test cases, blah, blah, like that. So, and that you can say, okay, yeah, oh, this is another one. So I can put that here, right? So that, but now I've kind of had different roles anyway, but hopefully you got the gist anyway. So that is that. So what you now need to do, let's say the next one, just copy this and then paste it again. And then you start to change that anyway. So this will be the next role that you want to do. So this will now be up to September 2023, maybe starting from 2020, right, up to that. And this might be for, let's say you work for Google Consulting, and you also put Google Consulting, blah, blah, blah. You talk about that and you do the same thing, responsibility. We can copy and paste. Let's go and just copy and paste what I have here without having to look anyway. But don't just do that, you need to amend it so it fits the purpose that you are going to be doing it anyway. So paste it here, and that's it. Yeah. So as a rule of thumb, ensure that you have at least 15 CV, 15 responsibility, if that's okay. And also another thing that you could do, lastly, now, if you are also very lazy, right? What's that? Okay. If you are very lazy, this is another thing that you could do. So ChatGPT can completely help you out, right? So let's say, which row have I not mentioned before?
So how many pages is a good size for your CV?
That's a good question, which I think I've answered 2 weeks ago anyway. So I would say, starting from what you can see now, from the one we did now, right? So 1 minute. So the first page, right, it's basically yourself, right? So, and the experience is only on the second page, right? So if you only work in 2 companies, so for instance, let's go back. So let's look at what is practical so that you can answer your question. So from first page, as you can see, everyone will have this anyway. So I'm expecting everyone to have this. So then your experience. If you only have worked in one company, like let's say one company, and you've been working since, let's say, 2015 with them, and that means you even got a lot of experience anyway, but it's only one company. So your responsibility will also be 15, unless you've moved different roles. Do you get it? And you can actually split them. And so for that, might be 1 or 2 more, and that's it. So in total, then you have 3-page CV, basically. That's all. So, and otherwise, so if you move from different places, right, you have like 3 or 4, as you can see, like each one company is already taking like 1 page actually. But if you have, let's say, less requirements, let's say, or responsibility, you might have one, like maybe 70% of the page for one role, right? So if you have 2 roles, that would be like 2-page CV plus your front page, which is 3. So technically, you are talking about 3, 4, right, CVs. But yeah, if you have more experience, right, yeah, like I will tell you, my CV is around 8-page anyway. And even my mentee, the one I mentored, actually, she one of the yeah, she's got like 9-page actually CV, and they actually invited her for an interview because of how bulky CV was actually, and she got the role anyway. So yeah, that's how I can answer the question.
Okay, I got a question, please, Deji.
Okay.
So like because I'm looking at CVs a lot. So not CVs, sorry, job vacancies. And some of the job vacancies will say 2 years experience required. But I've only got 3 months. Does that mean I cannot apply for it if I feel I see that I can do the responsibilities?
Yes, you can apply. Of course, I do advise people to apply as many as possible, right? You are not the one that should disqualify yourself. It's the recruiter that should disqualify you, right? It's not your job, right? It's not your responsibility, right? You apply for any. Oh, this is very, very important because sometimes I tell one of my mentees, I used to use her as a reference actually. So at that time she was a QA, right? And I said, oh, sis, can you apply to any role? Just I said, as long as it's got test in there, just apply. And she started to apply, and she was applying for test manager role, actually, that requires a lot of experience. And she was getting interviewed, even though she was just like a few months in the training. How she did it, I don't know. So that's left for her anyway. And another thing I want to also say, right, even this is, I used to use my wife, hope she doesn't mind anyway. And I said, Pat, you need to apply to every role, test every role. And so she has applied for a part tester. We used to make fun in the house. And the person called and said, did you see what you applied for? Part testing. And which is like those guys that are actually like MOT for electrical appliances anyway. So yeah, apply for as many roles as possible, right? Even if you don't meet the requirement, apply. Some of them will actually tell you that they will keep your CV and that, okay, you do not meet the requirements anyway. But if you have only 3 months experience, know that, okay, you might be looking for junior role anyway. So just to gauge, manage your expectation, right? So you should not be looking, with 3 months experience. You're not saying I'm looking for 50,000 row, 60,000 row, or something like that. Unless, nothing is impossible. I'm a man of faith anyway. I believe that it's possible, but it will be challenging. Let's just put it like that anyway. But everything is possible, right? So yeah. Okay, hope that answers your questions.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all right, cool.
Hello.
So does that mean that? Okay, please.
Hello, Deji.
Yeah, right.
I have one question.
Hold on, guys. Let me just finish this CV one. Do you get now? Then I will, because I've got less minutes. So just to quickly wrap it up, then I can open, if you don't mind. Sorry, just hang in there. You can raise your hand so I don't forget. So if that's okay. Okay, so so lastly, right, so on this CV now, the next thing that is references. Okay, you might need to say, okay, reference. Okay, so because I saw some of the CV when someone now put the reference on the CV. In the UK, we don't normally put the reference. You just say available on request. Okay, available on request. Okay, and more often in the UK, most often people that are genuinely interested in you will not ask you for reference until they give you the role. Okay, and this is very, very important. Most people that would ask for references before they give you the role are sometimes looking for leads. The reason being, I see people on my mentees that were asked for references, and then they supply my name or some of my mentees in the group, and eventually these agencies start to ask, oh, Blue Sky, do you have job and everything is, they are using it for leads as well. So you need to know when recruiter are using it as a lead or they are genuine. To get it now, but more often people that are serious will give you on jobs and then they will ask for reference. So you just say references available on request. So that's what you need to do. So now, lastly, what I was about to say before the interruption quickly is like, if you are also kind of lazy, right, and you want ChatGPT to do your CV for you, you can also do that. Okay. Create a 5-year CV for a let me see, software tester with, okay, let's say even manual testing. Okay. Okay, as you can see, that is that. Okay, so as you can see, that's that. So I can rephrase it because that is kind of short and precise. So I want you to add the tools with two rows and a lot of technical skills and tools. There you go. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Technical skills, blah, blah. Yeah. As you can see, that's it. So as you can see, you can copy that now and put it wherever on the template. Do you get it now? So, and you have the name or you don't need this anyway because the template that you select will give this to you. And objective, okay, you can now say, okay, this objective is so simple, rewrite it. Yeah, ask it to rewrite again for you. So, okay, I think it's still a bit anyway. So yeah. So, and this is GAUSS 77. You can add more anyway. So let's say we copy the code and let's paste it in our in here. So there you go. So that is how it's going to look like anyway. So you can now, yeah, as you can see, that is the objective, right? Objective, you can rephrase it. Then you can see, yeah, the manual testing, blah, blah. So company and location, the year, yeah, and yeah, responsibility, and another one. So, and you can combine them together, right? So, so, and that is one, and combine one. So you can maybe if you write it again and say, give me 10 years experience or 20 years. So, and you can see how big is it. And you can have a lot of things, with, let's say with 10 rows. So I'm going to remove manual now. I'll put off and automation. So as you can see, so that is that. Okay. So I think it's just only bringing two, but you can refine what you want to do anyway. So, okay, all right. So that is that anyway. So I'm going to ask, okay, the questions now. So, okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. Jamie, please, I think you want to pick up. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for this eye opener, Deji. We write CVs with so much unnecessary information. Learning. I was looking at the CV you created, and I wanted to know if things like achievements in terms of response, when you put the responsibilities, because we'll say I did responsible for this that led to this maybe reduction in cost or something, but I don't see that there in the CV you just created. Does it mean that it's not necessary? Because so I'm just wondering, if we should just list out our responsibilities, no results at the end of it, but because I don't know, there's no achievements there in terms of the CV that you created. So should we remove it totally from and just list the responsibilities, skills, the tools we can use, and then let them, when they ask you questions in interview, you can speak on it, or should that be there? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that is a very good question, actually. So I kind of forgot about that. So it's really, really important, actually. So let me share my screen, actually. So I just saw the sample I created before it's there. So unfortunately, I missed on this one. So quickly, 1 minute. So let me share my screen back. Yeah, it's good that you actually ask. So okay, so this is the one I created before now, actually. So as you can see, so the responsibilities, the project, the tool that you use, and achievement, actually. So, and that is there. So you need to do like that as well anyway. So, but yeah, so as you said, I just can quickly add it anyway. It's very, very important. Yeah, so you need to add that as well. So now, what do we put in the achievement? So you can use ChatGPT as well anyway. So and one thing that, because someone was asking me, what am I typing? To be honest, you can see I'm just typing everything on the fly. So there's no script. Do you get it now? So that's just to show that you can, yeah, do anything that you want to do anyway. So, okay, achievements is crucial for CV components. Can you see, as it demonstrates your skills to your previous blah, blah, blah. So you can start to look at, okay, so like this is really, really good like that. So develop automated reporting to reduce report generated by time by, yeah, something like that. You just copy that and paste it on the achievement part. All right. Yeah. So like that. So, and you just change that. So let's say you are able to, yeah, reduce generation lead by 20%. You get a lot, yeah. So then copy another one. I think 3 should be fine anyway. So if you look at the other one and say, okay, this is also good. Yeah, like this one now is another one, creating interactive Power BI visualization resulting. Yeah, so you can copy that and paste it again in that. So yeah, thanks for that question. So because that is really, really interesting. Yeah, it's something that you need to add as well into your CV. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate that. Yeah,
thank you very much.
Okay. All right, so let me, and I need to, yeah, okay. All right, cool. Thanks. So another person, okay, Ezekiel, please. Ezekiel.
Thank you for this. Quick one. I guess just to buttress what the person that spoke last said, and I think I mentioned this 2 weeks ago when I submitted my CV and they sent a mail back to me that I need to add achievement to it, that it will give me, like, it made me stand out. So now I'm a DA. So what in terms of what we're doing right now, how do we go about putting achievement in creating our CV and putting in our CV?
No, sorry, say that question again.
I said I'm a DA. So
Yeah.
in terms of achievement, how do we go about it? What do we need to put there?
I just showed you now.
Okay,
Ezekiel. I just showed you in just a moment now. And unfortunately, I use it here as an example.
Okay.
Okay.
So that.
Adora, please.
Thank you very much for this insightful section. I just wanted to ask, you mentioned at the last career development that once we get our CV written and reviewed, we can start applying to jobs. So now that really indicates that we are on an internship, when it gets to the point of interview and they ask, why do you want to leave your current role? Because you've only spent about a month or two there. How do we pull that?
Okay, so that question is not for now, to be honest, because this is only for CV section anyway. So there's still going to be interview section where we're going to talk about that anyway. But I'm quickly going to answer that now. So some contracts are only for 3 months, and some are for 1 month. Do you get it now? Right. So that, yeah. So for you, right, you are here and you're only on contract. Yeah, it's just 3 months contract. And yeah, it's just a short-term contract and you finish, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. I also have a question. So if we done like some roles that are not related to our current roles, like for instance, I'm an accountant I was an accountant back in Nigeria. I came here, the first job I got was a customer service. So how do we ignore those roles or just start all over again or we should include them and sort of tweak them? I don't know how I can tweak my current role to what I'm looking at getting.
Okay, so one, I think you need to look into that to see how you can tweak your current role. For instance, I know we've got lots of accountants here that went to pick BA role, right? Also, okay, they went to pick BA role, and so I think some of them are also in software testing as well, right? So it's basically look at, okay, in the last row, okay, I analyze different reports and everything. And what BAs are doing is more of analyzing the requirements as well. But what the requirement are you analyzing? You are analyzing the requirement from accounting point of view from your client, right? So depending on how you rephrase it. And the same thing with the people that went to Kiwi was like, yeah, I deal with data and I ensure that I'm an auditor, right? What's the role of an auditor? To ensure that everything works by the book. What's the role of a QA? Ensure quality in the application. So it's basically the same. One is quality assurance of accounting. Another one is quality assurance of a software. So they also work the same way. Do you get it now? But different sections anyway. So if it's a Scrum Master as an accountant, okay, do you manage people? Do you work with people? Do they report to you? Do you have regular meetings with them? So that's what a Scrum Master would do as well, isn't it, within your field? And one thing that is so important to say is like, because for someone like you, you'll fit in more into an accounting firm or banking or something, because they're looking for people that have got that experience. I worked in a place before even though it's not accounting, it's a dynamic 365 application, and they call it finance and operation. That is a part of dynamics actually. And in that you have ledgers, you have what's it called? Receivables and everything. For me, it took me a time to understand that. What is a receivable? What is I don't even remember all those ones now, actually. Yeah, I just get by and ask questions. Do you get it now? For you, if you're a BA in that situation, you get it quickly, right? Compared to someone that didn't come from that accounting background. Do you get it now?
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So the same thing applies to people that are in H section as well. Do you get it now? So you work in H section over your life. So and you want to work in NHS as a BA QA. So you got that knowledge of that. Actually, when they're talking about the terminology, you're not thinking again. Do you get it now? So applies to other people. And just to also say quickly, I also spoke to someone before now. I think, yeah, it was one of the mentors on this platform before. So I also mentored her actually. She came, she did Scrum software testing, and it was not, yeah, it was like, this is too technical for me. And I had a chat with her. She's a lawyer, and I said, okay. Yeah, and I said, I want to go and do Scrum Master. And I said, oh, because you write a lot, and lawyers, you guys also talk a lot. Why don't you give a BA and yeah, a try instead of Scrum Master? And she went for a BA, and because one, for a BA and a law, it's easy because now issue of writing is not an issue, issue of communication is not an issue. Also having to speak, and you go for interview, and they're looking for people like you as well, as a lawyer, as a BA. The same way with an accountant as well, to be honest. So it's really going to work well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, yeah. Samuel.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. So some time ago, I applied for some jobs online in the healthcare sector, and I got about 4 replies, and they all invited me for an interview. I went for the interview for all 4 of them. And I passed the interview of the 4 of them. And dramatically, as it all just happened that I lost all 4 of them. I noticed that they asked me these questions. All 4 of them asked me to provide my history of my 5 years history. How did they ask the question? Yeah, they asked me to provide my whereabouts in 5 years back. How do I put the English? So I provided some emails and the company's web address, the company's official email. I provided them. They all reached out to that email and the web address. They couldn't get it. I don't know why they couldn't get it. The first one didn't get it. The second one, the third one, the fourth one, the same thing. So I'm confused. I don't know what happened. And one of them, I asked a question. I asked one of the last one the question. I said, are you looking for a UK-based experience of my life, or you're looking for any of my 5 years experience? She said any, but they cannot reach that address. She specifically said my former working place in Nigeria, the email address doesn't end with .co.uk. I said, yes, that's because it's not in the UK, it's in Africa. She said, I'm sorry, I can't reach them. And that's how I lost all 4 then.
But hold on, Samuel, did you send an email to that email address and it did go?
Yes, I can reach the email. I can reach the website from here.
No, not website now, as in the email, because what they needed to do was just send an email. So unless the person at the other end did not kind of reply that email, do you get it now? So because if they say they cannot reach it, that means they sent an email and the email did not go. That could be that anyway. Because even in Nigeria, some companies in Nigeria only use .com. They don't use .ng, right? So, and I don't see any reason why, they cannot reach it or they cannot send an email. So you need to confirm with the company.
Actually, I let go of all those companies. I'm just the current company I'm working with. I provided them the same information, and they I don't know how they contacted, and they got back to me. That was like 2 years ago, and I'm working. So I don't have any problem. I don't know if that will still be a pro. I'm asking. My question now is that, do I scrap that out of my CV because it's not useful, it's not fruitful? Do I just scrap it down? And if I scrap it out, what am I going to fill in for my 5 years of experience?
No, I don't think so. You just need to kind of do a bit of investigation on that again, right? To see what happened. Do you get it now? I really don't think, that because it's not a .co.uk is the issue, right? So because even in the UK, not all companies has got .co.uk. Some companies use .com, right? And the one in Nigeria that you're talking about, do they use .com or .ng?
It's actually .com, and
exactly.
the email address ended with it started with .info.tv.
.info.tv.
Yeah, info.
Okay, maybe that might be the issue, right? Because in the UK we don't appreciate that kind of that email. Do you get it now? Because you are looking for .com, not .tv. I've never seen any email that it's an official email and it's got .tv. Do you get? Maybe that's what they are looking for, right? So if that company has got .com address, that makes a lot of sense. .tv, do you get? Even me, I'm kind of why. Do you get it now?
I get what you mean. I get
so that might be what they're looking for. That why do you have .tv? Why not .com? Right? Do you get it now?
Right. Thank you.
So where other people might not think about it, do you get it now?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's fine. .tv, you can send email. Oh yeah. You just have to look into that. Yeah.
Right.
Ask them if they have .com email address that you can use for that purpose.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Amoleshe, is that how to pronounce your name?
Thank you. So I just want to quickly ask, it's been something that has been bothering me. I'm not sure if it's more appropriate now or when we are doing the interview session, answering questions. So I know how it's very relevant to marry accountants, business analysis, but I have issues. How can I, if I have a science background till post what's it called? Post BSc level, how can I marry that to being a tester?
You have science background.
Yes.
To be honest, you are better off than some other people, right? So
I just don't see how. That's what I'm asking. Maybe you can let me
actually in the science, some people I said some people don't even have scientific. I have one of my mentees actually. I think that one is a lawyer actually, right? It's not anything. And one is geologist actually, right? So even maybe what we can do, right? Maybe I would, if the mentors would have a session, we can ask them to talk about their background, right? So to be honest, you will be surprised where everybody started from, right? Yeah, so you don't need to worry about that. It doesn't matter, to be honest. Yeah. Trust me. Yeah. Okay, Rose.
Okay, thank you, JG. Still bordering on covering the gaps. Say the company is requesting for your last 5 years. Every speaker has said they had one background or the other in science. And what if you didn't have any background? You were busy making babies for 2 to 3 years, and now you want to start working. So how do you cover that up?
That also is possible. One thing I can tell you, right? So yeah, I think my time is up, guys. So I will only take the two guys raising their hands now. So yeah, one thing I can tell you, right? It's based on you, right? If you already made your babies and you are not fine, right? That means you are fresh graduates, right? That is one, right? And it means that people still employ fresh graduates if you don't have experience. Do you get it now? That also is still happening, right? If you know, oh, I've got 3 months experience and I'm looking for a job, can you? Only means that the job that you will get will be less pay than those people that's got experience. And one thing I can say, some people know how to coin their CV, even some people don't have the experience that I have. But if you see their CV, they get even job that I cannot get. How they do it is their own palaver. I'm not interested. Do you get it now? You get my point. So it's left for you to decide. Yeah. Okay. All right. Alex.
Hi, Deji. So, when just going back to the CV template that you made with us this evening, so say for example, Blue Sky is for whatever time period you've been working in Blue Sky for, that's our technical experience. And every other job you've done completely different roles that are not relevant to the role that you're applying for now. For example, let's say software testing. But once you understand a little bit more about, software testing, you realize, okay, in some aspects in a particular company, I was actually doing a bit of testing, but I didn't use the tools that were available. I didn't document it. But would it be useful to just try and extract maybe skills that you learned from those roles and try and, make it sound like something that was testing related? Or is it still useful to just put the honest truth of what you did in those roles and then hope that your time at Blue Sky can get the job?
And to be honest, this always happened in this particular session, right? And also other sessions. And this will not be the last time that this question will be asked. And to be honest, if you ask me 20 times, my answer still remains the same. Because some people are looking for a specific answers, and you are not going to get the answer from me. And because you know the answer, right? And that answer will not come through my mouth. Do you get it now? It's left for you. Okay. Does that make sense?
I have more questions now. I'm confused with that.
Okay. No, you're not confused. You know what you're looking for, right? Do you get my response right?
Okay, I think so.
Okay, all right. So yeah. So because some people just want to box you in a corner, and I refuse to be boxed in a corner, right? And of course, and this is also being recorded. So and I will not kind of you are free to do whatever you want to do, but I will not encourage you to do what you don't want to do, right? So, but one thing that I also say, right, to encourage some people, there are still jobs that require fresh graduates. There are still jobs that are even, I was surprised, a mentor on one of my mentees only got 6 months and she got a role with Vodacom with 6 months. That's still possible. But of course, everyone has got their own journey. What I can do, some other people cannot do it. And I said, I know some people that haven't got enough experience, but when I see their CV, it's even more than my own CV. But God bless you. Anyway, so that's what I can say. Esther D, lastly, please.
Hello, Deji. Please, my question, maybe you first said like 2 weeks ago, but I still need more clarification on it. It's about
is it that you don't have the answer that you are looking for?
you know, when you have your CV in different places with private recruiters, public recruiters, and with different roles. So what do we do? Do we the new CV we are doing now, are we going to change the name, the address, the telephone number? Please, what's your take on this? Thank you.
I really don't have a take, but I can tell you what people have done, right?
Okay,
and I'm not saying do so, right? That is one, let me put that disclaimer. So one, because let's say you want to do a BA, you want to do a Scrum Master, and you want to do a data analyst, and you're confused, which is not a best position to be in. I'd rather you focus, bring everything out, focus on one role, you have one CV, right? So for that people that are very, very, they're able to juggle these three things together. So they have different profile. They have Ade in one, they have Ola in one, they have Sam in another one. So they know that if they say it's Sam, they know it's a BA. If you say it's Ade, they know it's something like that. So, and also they have different email addresses and telephone numbers. So that, So, but to be honest, I would prefer that you stay focused, pull every CV out, right? Focus on one role and ensure that you, push it through, right? Which is very, very important. But if you think you can combine it together, it's you anyway. But one way or the other, if a recruiter sees your CV somewhere as a BA and sees another one as a QA and as a Scrum Master, then it doesn't really work well with you, to be honest. So that's one thing I can say.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, everyone. So one thing that I've done is I've put the copy. Normally, I don't normally do this anyway. The sample of the one I did today, I put it on the chart, on the Telegram chat for so that you can pick that up anyway. So this is first time I will do this. I don't normally do it because, as you know, the program is practical. I will prefer that everyone does it by themselves. So so it's also very important so that your CV doesn't look like other people's CV. Do you get it now? It's very, very important. I would advise that even if you want to use the one I've done, don't use it like that because, for instance, now we've got 50 people here, and it means that this particular one would go out to different people. So don't, as you can see that I started from scratch, building it up, which I think is the best way, not that giving. I know because you go to some other places to just give you one CV for everyone to go and create. Do you get it now? Copy and paste. Before you know, one of my mentees actually mentioned this. She went into an interview. She found that 3 CVs were the same. It was like, who is the owner of this CV? So out of everyone. So so you need to consider that. Okay, it's very, very important. Okay, so last question. I have previous work experience. However, not in IT specific role, but skills as transferable. Can I include those roles? Okay, I think I've answered that one. I think the answer is yes, you can include those roles in your newly created IT-focused CV. Yes, that's one you can, Okay. All right, thank you, everyone. So we're going to meet again next week where we're going to look into application, how to apply, right? But before then, please ensure that you create your CV, right? So what we're going to do, I'll send a link to you where you're going to where you're going to supply your CV. So after the application, right, or before the application, basically, anyway, we'll see what we're going to do. I'll have time that we're going to review the CV anyway. So you got 5 days, right? Before Sunday, ensure that you do your CV first cut, okay? And you can get it reviewed, right, by myself. Also, you can send it to your mentors as well so that they can have a first step. I will even appreciate you send it to them first, okay? So that they can look at it before it comes to me anyway, so that they can give you, so that first feedback anyway. So then when we do that, we'll come back anyway. So yeah, so thank you so much for the time. Apologies.